How are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
What's your name?
My name's Aaron.
I heard you're big anime and manga fan. Is that correct?
100%. I love anime, love manga. I love manhwa as well, which is like the Korean. I love manhua, which is like Chinese manga as well. Love it all. Yeah.
Wow. Which Japanese anime and manga influence you the most?
Ooh, that's a big question. See, that's like asking any person who watches anime or reads manga what their favorite anime is. And it's literally one of the hardest questions ever. But I'll say the one that probably influenced me the most can vary from either Naruto, One Piece, which is like my childhood, Dragon Ball Z, which is like my childhood. But then you've also got like Yu Hakusho, Rurouni Kenshin, so many. But I think the one that I could say 100% was like the main capture for me for anime was an anime called Bakuman.
When did you start watching anime?
I started watching anime probably when I first came to London, so I think I might have been around 8, 9 years old. I'll say that's about the right age, yeah. We did know about some anime back then, but I wasn't into it as much back then. It was more when I came here, and then Naruto was, I think this was before Shippuden, so it was still kind of earlier on in Naruto's time, but it was good, yeah.
What do you like about them? What do you like about manga and animation?
I just love all the different stories that manga artists come up with. I just love seeing how you can get just from one basic idea of like a power to just show a variety of different powers. So if you look at Naruto, for example, they just got a base of chakra, and it's just so many different skills come out from it. I'm big into like fantasy and stuff like that. So watching anime, reading manga, it allows my brain to go into like a big creative space, and it's just to allow my brain to like see the myriad of different stories that's been created.
Fantastic. Do you have any favorite characters?
Yeah, favorite character in Bakuman was definitely between two people, Nizuma Eiji and Hiramaru Kazuya. Those two, because Kazuya was just pure comedy from the first episode he came in to the last where he finally got married. Absolutely loved him. He was just funny. Watching the interaction between him and his editor, just starting off between that love-hate relationship to just a full brotherhood, and then Eiji, because he just had that, I don't know, that charisma that just always drew everyone around him, and he was just funny from start to see how pure genius, but has a variety of different emotions that comes out just every now and then when he goes serious. But yeah, no, those two I'd definitely say my favorite characters.
Wow. Do you have any favorite episodes?
The episodes, yes, I'll say it's probably my favorite episode in the anime. Yeah, 100%. It's when the two main characters, Mashiro Moritaka and Takagi, when they got the keys to Mashiro's uncle's studio, they went to the studio and there was just a whole bunch of different mangas that was in the studio. So it was Ashita no Joe, you had One Piece, you had Dragon Ball Z, and it was just fun seeing them reminisce about all those mangas from back in their childhood, because it felt like it was something from my childhood as well, because I was just starting to think about, I used to watch those animes as well when I was younger. I used to read those mangas as well when I was younger, and it was just fun to see them just kind of reminiscing about.
So that is the episode in that.
Yeah. So
wow.
The anime itself it's an anime about these two high school kids.
Yeah.
One of them is really good at drawing, and one of them, he's like a genius at school.
Yeah.
So he's like always got great grades and everything. And Takagi, who's the intellectual one, he wanted to become a manga artist, but he couldn't draw, so he needed someone to draw for him. So he found Mashiro to draw for him, and they then both kind of come together to kind of create this dynamic duo to create mangas. And there's another part to it that I don't want to spoil for those who might want to watch it, but it's also the seeing them kind of it allows me as a fan of anime and manga to see what it's like at the back end of the final result of a manga. So when I read a manga now, I kind of know how the process of it being released, from where the idea gets created by the mangaka, it then gets sent off to the editors, who then kind of review it and then give kind of opinions, and then it then gets sent off to competitions to see whether it's good enough, and then whether it's a one shot or it just gets released straight away. But it was just fun to see all that kind of stuff, and it's really cool when they start mentioning mangas and animes from like real life, like Death Note, One Piece, all that kind of stuff. When it gets mentioned in the anime, it was just really cool and fun.
Which anime or like a manga are you into at the moment?
At the moment,
Yeah.
I don't watch as much anime nowadays. I read more manga. The only time I watch anime is when I want to see certain stuff that I already know happen in a manga. So like One Piece, for example, right now is in the Wano arc where it's Luffy against Kaido.
Yeah.
I've been watching that fight because I absolutely love it. However, I'm more into manga, and the one I'm currently reading, I'm rereading it. I've read it before, but it's just fun to reread it again. Is a manga called Ajin.
What's that like?
So Ajin is basically about there's beings in Japan where once they die once, they find out that they're immortal and they can't die, and they're ostracized by the whole of the civilization because people fear them. So when the main character finds out that he is an Ajin, he goes on the run, and it finds out that they also can summon these kind of supernatural beings that only other Ajins can see. Humans can't see them, and they can't get in contact with them unless they're materialized. And it's just basically watching the main character go from running away from the Japanese government to now working with the Japanese government to fight against the main villain, who is absolutely one of my favorite villains ever. He's just so smart. He's just got that kind of interaction between him and the main character that's just absolutely phenomenal.
Wow, I could feel your passion. Thank you for sharing
My
your
pleasure.
love. And do you have any comments? Like, is there anything you like to say to Japanese anime fans?
Yeah. Oh, one thing I would say is from Bakuman, I realized that a lot of manga gets released based on the voting system that Japanese people do mainly. I don't know if that's accessible to us Westerners.
Right.
So one thing I will say is please definitely choose great mangas for us to be able to read over here, because it's definitely getting to be a big thing over here now. I think back when I was younger, it wasn't as popular and wasn't as mainstream to watch anime and read manga, but now everybody loves it. So yeah, it's nice to see what the Japanese people really love now becoming popular in the Western world.
Oh.
At school, what was the percentage of the kids who were into anime?
Probably less than 10% of us were into anime, and it wasn't in my school specifically. We weren't exactly made fun of as much. It wasn't a case of people making fun of us. It was just like, we're the anime guys. But yeah, no, it was very
weebos.
Yeah, we were the weebos. But yeah, it was very minuscule, and it wasn't just in my school. I think around me, I only knew a few people who were really into anime, and it was very, very small. Whereas now, everywhere you go, you find so many people who are into anime, and I think it's just mainly because of how, I think the art style of how anime has become now is just so. It's just so much more appealing for people to really get drawn into, and also the fact that I think you have a few anime which have really become popular enough to draw a lot of people into it, like Shingeki no Kyojin, Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, all those kind of animes, which is just great stories. One Piece as well, Naruto, which is just great stories that I think has drawn people who weren't into it as much before, now have seen that there is some more serious side to anime. Because I think before what people assumed was just animes for kids, anime is childish, but now that they've seen stuff like Shingeki no Kyojin, which is just pure, like, I'll say is an adult anime, it's just changed people's point of view about what anime is like.
Do you think that anime and manga appeal to all the ethnicities and social classes in British society?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
100%. I know so many white, black, Asian, Americans, English, so many people who are really into anime. Age doesn't matter as much anymore. Gender, race, class, all those kind of things doesn't really matter as much. You get a myriad of different people who are really into anime, which has now become such a big thing. Again, all due to just the few mangas and animes that have really popularized it for the whole genre, for the whole industry.
So Aaron, can you give me your top 3 animes and mangas?
Yeah, 100%.
Might be a difficult question, but
Nah. Yeah, so my top 3 favorite anime will probably be Bakuman, Yu Hakusho, and maybe Death Note. And then my top 3 favorite manga would be One Piece. Ajin might be up there. And the third manga I'll say would be my favorite, something that I can reread non-stop, probably Vagabond. Yes, Vagabond.
Vagabond. Okay, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.
See you again. Hope to see you again.
Bye.
Bye bye.